This is Eric Brotman, the host of Don't Retire, Graduate, the podcast that asks you what you want to be when you grow up so you can graduate into retirement with passion and with purpose. Welcome to our Diary of a Financial Advisor segment, where we interview financial advisors about their professional journeys and their passion for helping others succeed. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Hannah Dennis. Hannah graduated from the University of Scranton in 2018 and joined BFG as a client relations associate in June of 2023. Before coming to BFG, she worked as a teacher for 4 years in the Baltimore area. With her background in education, she has interpersonal and communication skills and is great working with children like me. While Hannah joined BFG as a client relations associate, she's also become our marketing guru and spends her days keeping me in check. Hannah, welcome to Diary of a Financial Advisor.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you back. I just put together the fact that University of Scranton is home to the Dunder Mifflin crew from The Office.
Yes.
How would you compare that particular office environment to ours?
Similar in that there's chaos often, but it's a lot of fun. It's really fun working here. So
you left the world of kindergartners, children, and came to the world of financial advisors and various professionals and working with clients and working with money and working with heavy topics a lot of times. Not that children sometimes don't have heavy stuff, but it's a different kind of thing. How has that transition been now that you're almost at BFG Financial Advisors for as long as you were in teaching? Not quite.
Yeah.
How has that transition been? What's the huge difference there?
I think the biggest difference is you go on from an island by yourself to a team. And it's kind of different when you're working with a group of people and collaborating with other people rather than when you're in the classroom. You're doing what you're doing and you make every decision, and your decisions drive how you do, and it's kind of very different than working in a collaborative approach where your team helps hold you accountable and they come up with new ideas and try this. And so the past pretty much 2 years has been me just trying to soak everything in from everybody else and learn as much as I can. So it's been really good.
So what you're saying is you used to be fully in charge and now it's collaborative.
Well, now I'm fully in charge of you, but
God
soaking in everything I can for the rest of the team.
For anyone who knows me well enough to know that is an impossible task. That is an impossible task. So you obviously have a long storied background in marketing, did lots of studying in that regard. You've been in marketing 25, 30 years. No. In marketing for 20 months.
No, marketing was kind of dropped into my lap when I found this job. And Eric he had just taken a year off the podcast and we were gearing up to get ready for season 6. And I was like, I want to help. And so I came from teaching where data drives all your decision making, and you're constantly collecting data and figuring out how to use that data to drive your decisions throughout your year. And so I kind of took that piece of teaching and brought it into the marketing space, because I noticed as soon as I kind of started working with the marketing team and kind of learning what was going on, that there wasn't really tracking of data. Like we didn't know what episodes were doing well, what marketing initiatives were doing really well. So that was the piece I kind of brought in from my teaching background, was just like, let's figure out what's going on and lean into what's working.
Do we know what's working now?
I do. I think we know what's working now. I think the webinars work really well. People love them. I think there's some podcast episodes that are just gems that really people have been really enjoying. And I think leaning into that has been really helping drive our marketing initiatives.
So there's no more difficult job here, I don't think, than yours. And I say that respectfully and not tongue in cheek at all. I mean, in the financial advisor space, there's 10 advisors who can all work together. There's 4 client relations people. There's an investment committee. There's people who work together, and marketing is sort of you and a lot of vendors. Which means wrangling and herding cats as well. It also means that every matter, whether it's with media, whether it's traditional media, whether it's podcasting, whether it's recording, you have crazy amount of deadlines and things that have to happen exactly at the minute. And that's got to be stressful.
Yeah.
How are you managing that?
So it's been a journey. I mean, for anybody starting something new, I think the most important thing is to just relax and learn. I spent pretty much my first entire year just learning about what we were already doing, and then kind of taking my time, but like figuring out what exactly do we need for the best success. So I noticed that in my brain, kind of the way it works when I was keeping all this data, it was in spreadsheets and it was just a mess. Like it was really hard to kind of figure out. And everyone was telling me like, this is a mess. No one wants to look at it. And I was like, but this is the only way I know how. So just calming down and finding little areas where you can improve. That's really important. And so I kind of came up with a plan and I adjusted as needed. And I mean, I've been really working with our operations manager, Coral. She's the most organized person in the world. And she has been helping me kind of learn how to be someone who can say, oh, this is something I'll need for the future. And it just becomes second nature. So the biggest challenge for me was just to calm down and, slowly implement things that will help in the future. Don't try to take on too much at once. Kind of taking on a little at a time, because I was so ambitious at the beginning. I wanted to do everything and I couldn't. There's too much going on. I have to learn too much. There was a lot of things that needed to happen before I was ready to kind of take on more. I think I'm now at that point, but yeah, I think just slowing down, trusting the process and finding where you can become more efficient is the best place to start.
So when we started doing Diary of a Financial Advisor, we started with our financial advisors, but then moved on to other folks who are within our stratosphere and within our ecosystem here at BFG. I imagine that doing Diary episodes is so much fun that there's a line around the building. Everyone wants to be next. Is that a fair statement? Like, people can't wait to sit in that seat?
I want to say yes so badly, but some are more enthusiastic than others at the office.
Okay.
And I'm known as like the one that goes around saying, do you want to have an episode? And some advisors are ready to go and they're so passionate and excited, and some it's like pulling teeth. It's scary being up here. Like, it's only my second time. It's nerve-wracking.
Well, and what did I tell you after the first time?
That I'm gonna be doing it again.
I said, well, not only that, I said someday we're going to co-host something because you're a natural at this. Yeah. It is a little bit nerve-wracking to have cameras in your face and lights in your face and all those kinds of things. And don't worry, to know that anything you say can and will be shared on YouTube for the rest of time. What could be wrong with that? So we're starting to innovate for 2026. We're making some pretty exciting changes. The podcast is getting a bit of a refresher, which I'm excited to do season 7. One of the things that we're looking forward to, I think, is that our guests are going to be even more relational and more story driven, and maybe a little less on the expert front and on the information front, but more on the tell us your money story. Like, what is your relationship with money? Yeah. I'm excited about that. And Diary is getting a complete overhaul where our Diary segments are going to be moving to the BFG University site. And they will be run as webinars so that there's the possibility of interaction. So there's the possibility of having these released much sooner so they can be timely. And so what we're hoping is that it'll wind up being a little bit more like a current events. Here's what's going on. And I'm excited about that because a lot of times when you record podcasts, you record them so far in advance that it's difficult to you don't know what's going to happen in the markets, in the economy, in the world, in your hometown, in any of those things over the next couple of weeks. And so I think we're about to do something really edgy and exciting.
Yeah. And I'm excited I think since they're going to be a little bit more timely and they're going to be recorded, the week they're going to come out, I think it's going to be exciting for our audience to be a little bit more interactive and talk to us about what they want to see and, comment on what they're thinking about the video and what they'd like to see in the future. So I think that's a good opportunity for that as well.
So we definitely want people to contact you when there are ideas. If you all have ideas about guests we could host or about topics we could tackle, or just about whether Hannah should wear her hair in the front or in the back, which was an issue when we first got started today.
No.
Figuring out the hair. I wore mine this way because I thought this was the right thing to do. And I really don't have a lot of choice. So you've got now not only the podcast and the webinars, and some of the webinars, my gosh, Hannah went from being brand new at this to being able to put together these extraordinary PowerPoints and which have been fun. The one we just did recently was Halloween time, and it was on estate planning doesn't have to be scary, and we told some horror stories with an attorney down in DC area. It was so much fun, and we had so many people signed up and interested in it and got a wonderful feedback afterwards. So I would say you're just getting started.
I think so too.
Now, a couple of things that I think we should share with our audience. One is that BFG holds an annual summit, and the annual planning summit that we hold for our team started 23 years ago when I had launched the company. It started as a lunch meeting at a macaroni grill. And now it's basically a multi-day conference that we have, and people look forward to that. And the closing event always involves renting out a karaoke bar. Now, at this karaoke bar, which we do have to ourselves, fortunately, we sort of have a no video rule because, people who are going to sing sometimes get very uncomfortable. Hannah's the exception to the rule because you can actually sing. I mean, really sing.
I do like to sing.
So I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm not singing on
No, you don't have to sing on the podcast, but I'm going to put you on the spot because one of the things we talked about was a lot of people like to do a duet with me, which I always have a good time with, you and I are actually going to rehearse, right? I mean, this is going to happen.
We got the song picked. We got the plan. We're rehearsing.
So once that happens, I would like to share that with our audience. I think it's the right thing to do. I can't promise it'll be good. No one's going to discover us. We're not going to get a recording contract, but I think that would be fun. I think.
All right. If I get 5 comments to post the video of us singing together, I will post it. I need 5 comments though.
You heard it here first. If you're watching this on YouTube, we need 5 comments to Hannah, and she will post us doing a duet at the summit. The summit takes place in early December.
Yeah, we're not messing around either. We're taking it seriously, so it's gonna be good.
I mean, we are not exactly Sonny and Cher or Garth and Trisha or anything like that, but we're going to do our best. So, anything else that you want to share with our audience about what's coming in the new year?
Well, I just think that we're really kind of honing in on what we want to put out as a company, and we're really refining and elevating our content. And I think you should really look out for what we put out because it's going to be really good. So.
You heard it here first. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I love when you're on the show. We are going to co-host something at some point.
All right.
I'd like to thank everybody for listening and watching today. If you enjoy our show, please subscribe so we can continue to be a part of your journey to financial freedom. We'll be back next week with another engaging guest on Don't Retire, Graduate, and in 2 weeks with our next entry in the Diary of a Financial Advisor. And remember, starting in January 2026, Diary of a Financial Advisor will be joining BFG University. We'll be bringing new episodes every other Thursday with current events in the economy and markets in the world, all designed to be timely, entertaining, and maybe a little informative. You can go to bfguniversity.com for more information. And for now, this is your host, Eric Brotman, reminding you, don't retire, graduate.
Securities offered through Kestra Investment Services, LLC. Kestra IS. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Kestra Advisory Services, LLC. Kestra AS. An affiliate of Kestra IS. Kestra IS or Kestra AS are not affiliated with Brotman Financial or any other entity discussed.